Welcome to UpStack Success Stories with Developers. This series are chill chitchats together with experienced developers that will share with you their expertise, success stories, likes or dislikes in regards to remote work. So the question here is just one. Are you ready for some amazing inspiration and tips? I know you are. Enjoy the series, let us know what you think, and I will see you around. Hi everyone, welcome to the UpStack series where we present our successful developers, big experts that have lots of amazing tips to share together with you. And today here I have with me Red. He's going to tell you more about why we are calling him Red. But really happy having you here together with us. And you have been with UpStack for quite a while, which we are really grateful for. So really nice to talk with you again here.
Okay, hi Dana. Hi everyone. This is Red. Red is not my name. My name is Recep Kirmizi, which is a Turkish name, but sort of hard to pronounce. My last name, Kirmizi, means red in Turkish. A lot of colleagues suffered from, trying to pronounce my name during our meetings, stand-ups. Then I said, man, you need to find something, easy to pronounce. And then my last name is Red, in Turkish. So let's call me Red. It's easier. It saves a lot of time.
Definitely, yes. This is why, I also personally love working with UpStack because we're meeting so many different cultures and nationalities that this is just a good example, how easy things can get complicated. But I like your surname. It really fits you too. Nice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So maybe would you mind starting by telling a little bit about yourself, what you do, and when in general, your journey as a developer started?
All right. This is Red. I'm 39, married, 3 kids. I'm working with Upstack, I think, for 3 years as of now. But I'm not. I'm working remotely since 2015. I'm not that after pandemic remote worker colleagues. I decided to go remote after my first kid was born. I was living in Istanbul. I'm from Turkey, by the way. I was living in Istanbul, working in Istanbul, and it was taking like um, 2 hours driving. In combined 4 hours, mornings and evenings, was taking for driving. After some point, it is inevitable to suffer from that traffic jam and troubles. Then I found the solution. That was a weird thing. If you leave the work at 6 p.m., you'll be at home at 9. If you leave the work at 8 p.m., you'll be at home at 9 as well. So, then I start to leave the desk later in the evenings. And during that 2 hours, I started to do some freelance jobs. I took some freelance jobs. And then this was actually the first remote working experience for me. Then it came to a point, so it is better working remotely because, there are no boundaries, no working hours, no office environments. It's just a freedom. Then I started working remotely since after that. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you come back again to the office or is it really a no right now?
Um, well, as a person, I never say no to nothing. I don't have strict rules. Maybe in some certain conditions, this could be an option. But I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now for the past, 6, 7 years. I would prefer working remotely. That is for sure because there are tons of benefits for this, then maybe we can talk about them as well. But I wouldn't consider working on site, at least full time. I don't want to do this. Yeah.
Absolutely, that makes sense. So you already actually mentioned, the traveling benefits of remote work, and in general, I think that's one of the biggest issues that we are all facing, and that's why we are choosing, remote work. So, do you see other benefits that, at least for you, are very important personally? That's why you are choosing remote work?
Well, the most important benefit is work wherever you want and whenever you want. In some cases, not all the time, but for instance, right now I'm having this conversation from a small village in the middle of the Turkey. I'm in my parents' village, small town, because where I live is in the very south of Turkey, and it is hot as hell, like 50 degrees Celsius. And then just we packed up everything and kids and stuff, and we came here. It is like super cool here. So this is the most obvious benefit. But other than that, there are other stuff. If you work on site, if you live on a city, not every city in the world has the same diversity and has the same quality. The most um, the biggest benefit I've got from working remotely is the diversity. Most of the times, the teams are wide as 20, 25, or even bigger teams. It can be even 5 people. But the thing is, when you work in a diverse team, you are getting the best parts from each nationality, each culture. For instance, Russian guys are or East European bloc, like these guys are super at math, physics, they are great. They're great problem solvers. But in terms of social skills, they're not that good at that point. Or talk about American guys. They are super self-confident, but not that super in problem solving. And Eastern guys. All different parts of the world have their own pros and cons. And you work on a diverse team, you are getting the best parts of each colleague, and you are becoming a better um, yourself. I think this is the uh, best investment for yourself to be able to become a better version of yourself. And it is
Mm.
hard to provide catch that sort of diversity when you're working on site, especially in my country. You're not getting too many immigrants, or it's not a best place to work for foreigners. Maybe if you are in the States, if you are in California, yeah, maybe, or in Germany, maybe, but not for, this is not working for all parts of the work. But remote working is making this available to every individual. I think that's the most
Mm.
benefit, self-investment.
Yeah, I love that you're saying that. I mean, then you think about it, we can replace everything with personal development, and the more we can grow, the more we can involve, the more we can give to the society. So, really like that you're talking about this. What about you becoming a developer? Was it like your dream from the young age, or how did that actually unfold? Really interesting to hear.
Well, it's actually a bit of both. It. I like tech. I like computers and stuff. I didn't have a computer since I was in high school. But when I have it, and all of my friends have that as well, but I had the worst computer ever. My friends was playing games, but my computer was not good enough to operate these games. But then gaming was not an option for me. Then I realized that there's something called MIRC chat. the good old chat, I started to, how this works. I started to ask questions, create aliases, pop-ups, and scripts and stuff. This was initially my first journey to write some scripts, and then there was something called Front Page 98 and Dreamweaver. These are web IDEs. What you see is what you get editors. These were my first attempts to do quote unquote, programming, HTML, JavaScript, CSS. There was not much of that back in time. I'm talking about 1998, 99, these times. There was not so many options, but this was my introduction to tech stuff. Like I said, I was into tech, but my computer was not good enough to let me play. And then I started different things. Yeah. I
Yes.
was mad at my father back in time, but maybe I should be thankful he drove me to that direction. Yeah. Because other guys still they are playing games.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. It can evolve in both ways. But you have been a developer for quite a while. I'm wondering, like, you have seen all of this, changes in the technology. How is that though feeling for you? Because I mean, you have been working in this, for a
Okay.
really long time.
Yep. So in the college, when I was in the university, there we have a student club, like a club of people, students playing with computers, giving lectures and stuff. I initially was system admin. I was managing computers. Then once we required a software which should be able to manage the people's credits. Sometimes people were borrowing stuff and claiming they will return that time, getting this and that. And then I asked a friend, he was a programmer. I asked, can you do that? He said, oh yeah, bro, I can do it for sure. What do you need? I need this and that and that. And he said, okay, no problem. I'll do it in one weekend. Okay, cool. Next week, what happened? I'll do it. Next week, whatever. I'll do it. Then this took like 2 months. Then after 2 months, I said, fuck it. Okay, I'll do it. I opened the doc, learned some PHP, MySQL and stuff. Okay, and learning took like 2 weeks. Then building the stuff took maybe a couple days, and that was it. And that ego, like building something from the ground and learning it from the ground, or just hit. Because before that I was just managing some systems with Microsoft or Linux, but it is cool. There was no DevOps title back in time. There was just system admins, but building something with some code really took me in. It was like 2002 or 3, that sort of time.
Yeah, interesting. Would you say like your typical day looks now very different? Would you mind sharing like how is your typical day looking at work?
Um, I am not spending too much time about clothing or eating and stuff. I eat one meal a day, so meaning I have plenty of time, or I'm just wearing just basic white or like. So I'm not spending any time. What should I wear? Or what should I eat? And then my time basically starts check some Reddit, Echo News, maybe Twitter. If I'm reading a book, just read some chapters while the mind is fresh. Then I start working early in the morning when everything is fresh. I check the board and task, if I have any questions, or if someone asks me any questions, check my emails, when all of these conversations are done, I just pick a task from the board and go straight.
So much more flexibility and freedom for sure.
Yep. Yep.
Love that. So you have been working for a long time. Do you have, though, any interesting success stories to share? Maybe that was a product that you built, or maybe that was a challenge that you overcame that really makes you feel fulfilled about yourself, because I know you definitely have built some amazing things.
In the previous job, it took quite some time to build such a thing. My first job from UpStack. The team initially was like 4 people, 2 backend and 2 front-end developers. The company is a huge one, a big one, I can say. I think I shouldn't tell the names here. The company was a big one. Our project was considered as a pet project until some time, but with the team of upstackers, we achieved a great um, success in short amount of time. But at some point, we had to do something like the legacy application should live by its own, but at the same time, our application should be able to work in some percentage of the traffic, like let's say 5% or 3%. But then you have to synchronize the database changes and stuff, because this whole thing is happening while a huge amount of traffic is flowing and they are doing transactions, money is being sent through each other. So when you put the new system, the legacy system should know about that changes. And when something changes on the legacy system, also the new system should know about that. And you should be able to do this while engine is running. We found a solution for that, and it was like the request came like literally in the midnight, like 12 a.m. I was able to deliver something like 4 a.m. and it was
Wow.
and it was working. Something is coming from the legacy, it was going through the new one, or vice versa. That was a point for me, because that one, I believe, saved the team from the because the management was trying, or the legacy team was trying to destroy the new team back in time. But I think that was the saver for that being happening.
Beautiful. I thought it's going to take like a few weeks to do something like that. It's impressive that you tackled the problem so fast. Really good job.
Yeah. So when you work with teams like this, they ask for something and the deadline is always yesterday. You have to deliver quick. Yeah.
That's what we have, yeah, in developing world. Yes, good one for sure. Beautiful. Are there, though, do you think, any challenges in working remotely, or maybe any tips you would also like to share with the developers, maybe the ones who are just starting, because firstly starting remote work in general, and firstly starting developing industry?
So there are a couple topics about that. Working remotely requires another mindset. So meaning working from home, the idea of working from home may make the work impossible if you don't change the mindset. So you should, as an advice to my colleagues, friends, so you should define some working hours. And during these working hours, you should do your work. You should have a dedicated working place. I'm not saying you should rent an office or something, but if you're working from home, there should be a spot for you to work, preferably isolated from the rest of the house. I have 3 kids, and they're just, crazy. They are 4, 5, and 7, and they're just everywhere. So it took some time for them to understand this is my office. I'm working here, so that you shouldn't just dive in. Or even it took some time for my wife to understand because um, most people, let's say, especially for the people they're not doing development, they don't understand the fact that that zone, that mindset, you should be focusing on some problems, thinking about this for minutes, sometimes hours, and the door opens and you want something, what, and where am I, that that feeling, that is important to explain that privacy maybe isolated space to whole family and for yourself, and you should say to yourself, this is my office, no matter what the place is. It can be a coffee shop as well. It can be a beach as well, but you should consider a spot. This is for work, and you should define some working out. It doesn't necessarily need to be 8 straight hours, but you can say I'm working 4 hours in the morning, then I'm taking 2 hours break, then 2 hours another, no matter what. But define these things, use Pomodoro timers or whatsoever. This is the physical stuff. Other than that, there are some cons of working remotely because it doesn't matter how good of a developer you have. You can be a ninja, you have black belt, but you can survive in the team as far as you go with the team, especially if you are in a management positions, because these are also very possible because UpStack offers the high quality developers, which are tend to be part of the team. At some point, they're expected to lead the team, manage the team, and the team grows. Like I said, initially when we started, we were 4 people. Then we became 8, 10, 20. At some point, there was like 50 people in different departments. So understanding each other, listening each other, and paying real attention to your colleagues and having a bond. I'm not saying pretend them as your family, but at least you can survive with that as far as you become at least friends and colleagues, not just random guys. In Turkey, we have that culture of, if your working colleagues becomes your best buds, and even your wives, kids are becoming closer relations. But that's some Turkish culture. For instance, in other countries, they don't have this is my colleague and this is my friend. But combining this a little bit might help, because this really helped us as a team solving a lot of problems. Most of the times we worked over time because there's a live site running, there's an incident, and if I'm not mistaken, 80 or 100 million people registered on these sites, and really high traffic, really high amount of money. If the system is stopping for 1 hour, the amount of money is huge. So when you need to do overtime, or when you need to um, work on some tough problems, then you need more than hourly rates. You need personal credit for bringing up the team together during the night, discussing about the stuff, and we I think we created great relationship, friendship during these times. I have friends from Romania, Polonia, Bosnia, Hong Kong. I'm quite sure if I just land in one of these cities and call this guy, hey, bro, I'm in the airport, they'll come and pick me from the airport and, host me. And I'll do the same for them as well. So paying attention to personal relations might be quite beneficial in the working environment as well. We are human
It's
beings.
beautifully said.
Yeah, we are human beings. We need to socialize.
Exactly. We are not robots, even if we are working, as developers and remotely. So it's important to remember those aspects. These are really beautiful tips, Recep. Thank you a lot for that. Is there anything else you would like to share or to mention with developers with remote world, or just to share your tips on life, whatever it is, just bring it on.
So my life, the way I live my life is I'm a student all the times. There's this phrase from Nelson Mandela: "I never lose. I either win or learn." So that mindset would be very beneficial for our type of work, because the time when you say, "Okay, I know everything," is the time you are just screwed. So you should always spend some time for learning, reading, catching up, discovering new stuff. So, and remote working is making this available to everyone. Like I said, I was spending 4 hours driving to work. Now I'm spending these 4 hours to self-investments. I'm learning new stuff, new technology, or some hobbies. This is my advice. Keep learning and stay as a student for your life and enjoy it.
Love that. Amazing. Thank you very much for sharing this wisdom. It has been a pleasure having you here, and I can't wait to see, your other developing magic happening at UpStack.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Bye.
much.